And a quick cut, and we already have cars on track up through the beautiful S's here. This venue, this area, Calvin Fish, is a highlight reel in and of itself, just driving around and enjoying everything. This track carved out of the middle of it is truly legendary. It's beautiful, as you can see from the vision here this morning. Drivers trying to get some temperature in the tires right now. Those Pirelli P0s just giving the car a little feel here. You can see the in a loop chicane. Want to try and have the car compliant over those curbs there to really maximize your speed through there, but they'll probably take it easy on these opening laps before you get the tire pressures up and the temperatures. Just got to be super cautious right now, but it's perfect conditions. Just a beautiful day. Relatively cool here. It's kind of got off the plane this week. It's like, wow, so I changed to a different country on the flight, but just ideal, and always great to be back at the GLEN. Super high grip race circuit, so the drivers really enjoy the grip and hopefully the balance in the car here in qualifying. And as always, the magic in qualifying is finding that lap where these Pirelli P0 slicks really hit their sweet spot. And on a long track like this, that's oftentimes just one lap, isn't it? It certainly can be. A lot of it depends on where you start your tire pressures in terms of if you want it to come up immediately and make sure you get a clear lap. The downside of that is if you get traffic, you don't nail the lap, suddenly you could be overpressured by the time you get to lap 2, lap 3. So we'll see what everyone goes for here. But in practice yesterday, it was a very tight field. Very tight. Johann Schwartz topped both of the sessions, but behind him, it was incredibly close. So it's by no means a given that he is going to be able to repeat at the top of the sheets here. And I would suggest here probably lap 2 or 3 is when we're going to really see the Flyers. Just as a target time, best time he turned yesterday was a 2:03.4. Just to give you a little bit of a reference point, that's him right there, first car. As he starts a Flyer here, we'll see just what kind of a lap he puts together. But again, that was just an out lap. You may need one more to really get those tires in this temperature. You mentioned it. It's only 54 degrees here right now. Yeah, it's a fun condition to be out there in. The car's never going to feel better than it is right now on fresh tires, cool conditions. Engines are going to be really buzzing right now. I think for Steve Strymer, who's right behind him, I believe, looking for a tow from his teammate here down these long straightaways. Very fast circuit, but you need balance. You need grip in the race car. Some really key corners after the inner loop that they're now approaching is the outer loop, kind of the carousel, and that really can make or break your lap around here. Yeah, Strymer here, 3rd and 5th in the 2 practice sessions. As we said, really close behind Johann Schwartz, so he's certainly got the potential here. We've seen him with some incredibly quick runs already this season, so you can't count him out. Both running for the Rooster Hall racing team. Very, very strong down through the laces of the boot, as they call it here. You carry a lot of speed out of that turn and now down into the toe. And this whole area, you're just basically from turn 5 at the exit of the bus stop, as they call it, you're just falling down to the toe, aren't you? Yeah, you really are. There's a lot of elevation change here, and it's a really cool part of the racetrack here, the boot. I found when I drove here, you really had to focus on getting a late apex here. The track would want to lead you in early, but if you did it, you'd run out of room on the exit. And certainly track limits here can be abused right in this corner, turn 8. You can't really have all 4 wheels up and over that curbing. You see Terry there kind of maybe right on the edge of that. Well, in the drivers' meetings, I thought they were being pretty generous on what they were allowing for track limits. I mean, as long as you got a part of any tire touching that colored curbing, you're pretty much okay. That's pretty generous. So, all right, here we go. Schwartz onto the front straight. See if this is going to be the fast lap or whether he's got another one left. Again, a 2:03.4 was his best previously. This, a 2:03.9. And I suspect this next lap might be even quicker still, but goes right away. Terry to the top. But then Terry, I got 2:03.3, Cal. Yeah, now this isn't a guaranteed pole for Johann Schwartz, even though he leads the championship by a considerable margin, 5 wins on the year. He's got a battle on his hand this weekend. A ton of cars, 10 cars within a second of his fast times here. Yesterday there was a bundle of 5 within 5/10, so he's going to have to dig deep here. And you think about Paul Terry, one of the things you look at that for him this year, he's got a pole, but he's got 3 fast laps. So he has always had tremendous speed, and he obviously showing it right there. Well, he went through a lot of braking issues with that car, which was affecting him in terms of his pace and his raceability, and it seemed like they got on top of that now. So
he's going to gain in confidence. We saw last year that he had speed, and then he just went through a bit of a rough patch in terms of dealing with the race car. Now they seem to have figured that out. I think he's going to just come on gangbusters here for the last 3 weekends of this championship chase.
Yeah, he didn't make it out in the first test session yesterday, so he just got the afternoon session in, and obviously they learned what they needed to here with a great run. The number 23 of Joseph Federo finds himself second right now with a good lap at a 2:03.6. Rika had jumped to third. Nice to have him back in the Genesis racing machine. Great job after a big incident. I think it was at VIR where he had a huge shunt, and it's just taken him a while to get the car back, get himself back.
Yeah, that was back in April, and he's only just got permission to drive again, so he obviously took a big hit that day and put a ding in his championship, obviously, and good to see that he's okay and back on form immediately.
All right, now let's see, what does Schwartz do here? He's down, as you can see in the second sector. He's underneath it by almost 3/10. He's got to beat that 2:03.319. Comes to the line. Does he do it? Yes, and handily a 2:02.490 lap. Boy, what a response, Cal.
That really was a nice one. Fastest in a couple of the sectors there and puts the lap together. Terry had a really poor sector 3 there, so did not put together a representative lap. I'm not sure if he had a bobble or an off, but or whether he just slowed down. So maybe he's just looking for some space here.
Boy, Joseph Federo continuing to show speed. A 2:03.19 for Joe in that Tech Sport Racing Nissan. So great run for him here. Talking to him up at Portland, and he said they really think they found a couple of things in that. He was able to show some speed. There he is there in that white Nissan with the sort of the dark triangle, trying an outside move, always a bit difficult in one of the Copart BMW machines.
I believe Eric Howell has been doing some testing with that car, and he said, watch out for Joseph this weekend. He said, I think we got the car dialed in. I think he's very prophetic with those words, because he is immediately on the pace again.
Another good run here by the number 52 as well of Tom Capizzi for Autotechnic Racing in the BMW 240 IR. He really has hit his stride. Sonoma got a first top 4 qualifying effort, backed that up with some great runs at Portland. It really feels like he's got this dialed up a little bit. Was excited about coming here to the Glen, and it's showing. Good run to 4th.
Schwartz continues to trim his times. Good second sector there. Vettel, though, new fast first sector by a chunk. 4/10 quicker. I think this traffic may have stymied his completion of nailing the lap, though. Yeah, he's way off in sector 2, so this traffic has really hurt him in terms of timing this run. He might have been better to just back out of it and just abort this lap, but he's kind of fighting it. He's kind of got in race mode here.
Well, you bring up a good point. The first sector ends right before the bus stop, and he got the tow from Cameron Evans all the way up there, then got stuck on the outside of Cameron trying to turn in, and that pretty much nulled it, didn't it?
It does, and even if he clears the BMW, he's got some other traffic right up ahead of him. He takes a run down this front straightaway. Look to the inside to try and make the move. No, sits back there, so, then he's given it.
That was nice. Cameron Evans moving over and letting him scoot through here. Looks like Schwartz did drop that time at 2:02.48. So he found even a little bit more. You're talking about it. Capizzi jumps up into the second spot at a 2:03 flat in the Autotechnic BMW. He is hooked up right now.
He is, and I see a lot of potential in the chasing pack, but as Johann Schwartz, with his experience and the championship lead, who seems to be stringing it together and putting together a couple of really nice laps, over a half-second clear of the field, which is not the delta that he had in practice. So he's come out strong out of the box here this morning. Let's see if anyone's got enough sweet spot left in those tires to respond here and trim the gap.
Here's a look at Capizzi now. He got compromised a little bit turning into the bus stop, working around the Dynamic Racing Solutions BMW there. We'll see if that affects that lap at all. It's not as quick as we've seen from some, but it was still not too bad in that first sector, a personal best even. That was before he got up into the bus stop, obviously.
Yeah, and it looks like he may have enough of a gap in front of him to put this lap together before being compromised with his lines through the corner. So let's see if he can trim and get down at that 202 range and join Schwartz in that party.
The Capizzi Home Development Autotechnic BMW. It's currently Schwartz, Capizzi, Federal, Terry, and Cameron Evans now moves up into the top 5 in the number 82 Copart Bimmer World BMW. Streimer just outside of the top 5, sitting in 6th. Nimkoff in the number 20 Auto Technic entry in 7th. Rika in the Gen Racer Genesis Coupe sits 8th. Mark Brummond in 9th in the 21. And the gentleman who's 2nd in the points, Toby Gerhobik, former class champion, sits back in 10th right now.
Yeah, big problems there. He hasn't really put together a representative lap at all.
No. He was 2nd quick in the 2nd practice session to Schwartz. All right, what can Capizzi do here? There's the note, pole 2:02.4, Capizzi's previous best 2:03.0. He's now 4th though.
Yeah, Federal and Terry jump into the 2:02 range, so suddenly Schwartz's gap at the front has been minimized, still got a 4/10 advantage.
And what do Federal and Terry have in common? Nissans. They are strong here, certainly this morning anyway. These cool conditions. See those big curbs, those big sort of orange and red curbs there in the bus stop. They've been told they can use the entire curb. They can actually have all 4 tires on the curb off of the paved part. But if you drop any tire into the grass behind that curb, that will be an immediate track limit violation. They said, we'll give you everything you could drive on there, but you start throwing dirt on the track, that's going to stop in a hurry.
Yeah, and I think the race director recognizes also the fact that it's tough to police. Do you know what I mean? It's hard for the corner marshals to see exactly. They don't have a really good vantage point in a couple of the areas where you can abuse the track limit. So I think they're going to be pretty, I'd hate to call it relaxed, but unless you're just out in a different zip code,
yes,
I think you may get away with some margins here this weekend.
Schwartz currently the best time at a 2:02.65, but look behind him. Federal, a 2:02.86. Terry, a 2:02.87. It is incredibly close right now. And actually the best for Schwartz, excuse me, was a 2:02.4. So he's got a little bit of room, about 4/10. But those two Nissans are running within 100th of a second of each other. Here comes Federal.
Yeah, fastest first sector here. This could be another good lap. Can he get close?
Boy, it is going to be right in the window there, a 2:02.6. So gives him a couple of tenths margin here.
Yeah, so Johan is probably getting radio communication from the Rooster Hall team. Listen, you've still got the pole position right now, but you got anything left, maybe cool off those tires a little bit, take another run at it.
And what will Johan Schwartz do? And ooh, big little, there's an interesting thing. A little bit of a slide there for him. You know, and that's kind of the risk-reward thing. At what point do you say, I don't want to overdrive and take too much out of these tires and risk something here?
Well, I think he's putting all on the line here. You can just see in the body language of the race car right now, he's really pushing hard. He used a lot more curb there through the inner loop and just lost a little bit of grip coming off. Coming through the carousel, he's really wide, using every inch plus a little bit more. He recognizes that that pole position could potentially get stolen from him, so he's digging deep. He and Federal pretty much match within a couple of hundredths of a second on that first sector, but neither one of them personal best. So I'd imagine that maybe the real sweet spot in this tires has just gone past its prime. And that's about perfect in terms of the track limits right there.
Use every bit you can, but don't exceed it. And see that West Virginia University logo on the side, been supporting this team in that program for a long time.
Terry got a nice lap going together, personal best, sector 1, sector 2. Not sure if it's going to be enough to get to Schwartz. Can he pit Federal?
All right, 26 seconds left in the session, so if you get underneath that checkered flag, or the starter stand before the checkered flags, you get another lap. Johan will, 2:02.7, not quite as good as his best.
He's right on it. He's just trying to, you're just working everything, Greg. You're just trying to take the brake pedal a little bit deeper into the corner, squeeze on that power a little bit sooner, but just that percentage of grip. I think as Federal coming into the pit lane, he's probably felt he's got the best time he can as we now see the checkered flag fly.
So for everybody now, so this will be interesting to see. I don't know.
Did Terry beat the checker?
That's exactly what I'm wondering here. I don't think that Copart Bimmer World BMW behind him did not. And I think Terry is slowing down a little bit, so I think they both probably got the checker.
Schwartz personal best, sector 1. He's got through there cleanly, and basically sector 1 is just all about getting through turn 1. There's really not much more to it than the climbing up through the S's there is flat out.
While we've been watching that battle at the top 3, how about this? The number 94 Copart Bimmer World BMW of Chandler Hull. A young driver, relatively new to racing, jumps up into the 4th spot with a great lap. Steve Strymer, who was a little quiet, the teammate for Johan, now sits 5th. Capizzi has slipped to the 6th spot. Then Nimkoff, Evans, Rika, and Grahovic still. And he got a 2:03.8 as his best lap, so he found something. But that's well off where he knows he should be.
Yeah, I think that's the big surprise of this qualifying session. Not so much what we see at the top, but what we see towards the bottom end of the field in terms of Rika and Grahovic at the bottom end of that top 10. Should be some fireworks during the race if they can get things sorted, though.
I would think so. And just also want to just give a bit of a shout out, Jacob Rudd, who's driven in the SRO America World Challenge Series for a few years. Nice to have him back behind the wheel here in one of the classic BMW machines. So welcome back, running the number 810 entry, and also joining the DRS, the Dynamic Racing Solutions team, is the number 6 of Hannah Zellers. She's running Celine Cup this year, but she's done some U.S. Formula 4 driving and LMP3 driving, so nice to have her in the championship as well. But Johan Schwartz brings it home, and when you take a look at what he's achieved so far this year, that puts up another pretty remarkable number for him. He has been a solid machine, and this should be, by my reckoning, his 4th pole of the season. And of course, in these races, the grid for the second of the doubleheader races is still established by your fast lap in the first race. So everybody has that mission to yet be thinking about, but it's going to be fun to watch this one unfold. The race actually scheduled to start at about 1:10 Eastern time today, and we will be obviously bringing that race to you live right here on our global webcast. And take a look here at the unofficial qualifying results. Schwartz, Federal, and Terry. And Chandler Hull, the top 2 rows, Strymer and Capizzi, will fill out the 3rd row, 4th row, Nimkoff and Evans. And then, as you said, how about that, 5th row on the grid, Rika and Grahovic. That's going to be of some intrigue, I would think. So grid is set for the first race of the doubleheader coming up here. It'll be round 9. We'll see you for that around 1:10 this afternoon Eastern time.